Welcome to today's COVID-19 update for Monday, October 25, 2021. I'm Natasha Smith-Thomas. In this episode, you will find out about the effects of COVID-19 in children. And of course, we'll get the latest vaccination numbers and hospitalization rates across the country.
We still have a number of persons who should come forward to get their first dose vaccines. And in every region, we're still not at that 80%, excepting for Region 4, where we are about 82 point something percent. All other regions are below 80%, and therefore there's still a lot of room for persons to come forward and get one of the COVID-19 vaccines. And then another issue that we're seeing is that persons have received their first dose vaccine, but they're not coming back for their second dose. And we want to encourage those persons who have received a first dose to come forward and get their second dose as quickly as possible.
Minister Anthony is also assuring the nation that there are adequate COVID-19 vaccines in the country. He said while only second dose of AstraZeneca is available, there is first and second dose of Sinopharm and Sputnik V.
We also have the J&J vaccine, and this is a single dose, but about a week ago, the FDA has recommended that after 52 days, you'll have to get a booster shot. So right now we are examining the possibility of that, but as of now, the J&J would remain a single dose. So we have vaccines that are available, and we want to make sure that people come and get vaccinated.
The health minister said there is now a disparity between first and second dose vaccines among the adolescent population.
For the children, we have initially saw a rapid uptake of the vaccines, and these are the Pfizer vaccines. However, I think over the last week we have started to see a slow off where not as many children are coming forward to get vaccinated. We need this to go up back again, because if children are not properly vaccinated, it's going to take a long time for us to return safely to school. And therefore, I would urge that parents take their children to get vaccinated. We just have to keep encouraging. I know there's lots of nonsense that people read on the internet, and because of that, they become hesitant. And we have some persons locally as well who have been sharing a lot of misinformation. I think people have to be a little bit more discerning, and they have to be smart. They have to think about what it is that's going to protect their health. And certainly from all the scientific evidence, these vaccines are the things that are going to protect you. So MISC, we have not really seen any case here as yet, but it's a very rare condition, but it's something that we have to constantly look out for. Children generally, when they get infected with COVID, they would have a milder form of the disease. And as of yesterday, we would have confirmed that there were 5,594 children who would have, when we tested them, we can confirm by PCR that they were positive for COVID-19. So within this age group, we are seeing persons or children testing positive, because I think for some people it's a myth that children are not going to be positive and things like that. That's far from the truth. MIS in children is something that was first observed in Europe, and since then pediatricians around the world have been asked to keep a close eye on this. So when you see children who test positive for COVID, or even if they have a history of COVID, the idea is to look for these signs and symptoms of MIS. This is not a bilateral arrangement. Many countries have determined their vaccination policy, and in a lot of instances they don't want to have bilateral negotiations on what they're going to exempt and what they're not going to exempt. Some countries have been following what they said. They're going to allow for WHO approved vaccines, and while a number of vaccines have been approved by the WHO, they still have many others that are currently going through the process of getting approval. The Sputnik V is one such vaccine that is currently undergoing that process. So in terms of vaccination, so far for the adult population, first dose, we have completed 377,614 persons. That represents at least 73.6% of our adult population receiving a first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. In terms of second dose for the adult population, it's approximately 237,997 persons who would have received their second dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. That now takes it up to 46.4% of our adult population. With the 12 to 18 vaccines, first dose, we have completed 26,882 persons, and second dose, 17,357 persons.
You have been watching the COVID-19 update for Monday, October 25, 2021. I'm Natasha Smith-Thomas. Goodbye.